Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to my next podcast on Back to Ancient Healing. After my first video, few of my friends spoke to me and questioned why I am going back to ancient healing when the whole world is looking forward to being better and living happily. They were actually making fun of me. But I did respond to them and did not react with them. I did convince them that I was right because there are so many lessons to be learned from our ancestors that can be applied in our day to day life to resolve physical or emotional problems. Unfortunately, they are lost or our current generation does not believe in them. So we are losing a great opportunity to learn from our ancestors. Hence, I've started creating this series of podcast on back to ancient healing. How many of you all know about telepathy, by which ancestors in India 5,000 years back used to communicate with each other? Greeks had also uses the same had used the same. The English word is of telepathy is actually derived from the Greek word. So many ancestral informations and all that they were being used, and it has been unfortunately we lost all of them and all that. So now, anyway, my life ambition is to analyze with experts, subject matter experts, and add such similar ancient methods in the World Wide Web so that the solutions are made available when someone searches in Google or any search network or any AI platform. To start with, I would like to analyze, if I may repeat, solutions for our day to day life scenarios. In my podcast, we may not be discussing how to get liberation or moksha or salvation or such similar terms. How does a common man resolve or behave in a better way every day to become a better person and live happily always? Now, living happily always, is it possible in today's world? Last month, I had an argument with my wife, with whom I have been married for the last 41 years and been living with her until now. During the argument, I told her that she is reacting and not responding. She looked at me and asked me, what is the difference between them? For a minute, I held my breath. Though I am certified in Ho'oponopono self healing techniques and also certified in emotional freedom techniques, decided that another expert having knowledge on these ancient healing techniques should answer these questions. So I decided to have a podcast with Gunjani Patel. Welcome, Gunjani Patel. Let me introduce her and then you can see her. Welcome, Gunjani, and thank you so much for agreeing to participate in this podcast and share with us the ancient healing of Ho'oponopono, which enables a common man like me to respond and not react in our day to day life. Gunjani Patel is a manifestation and life transformation coach with over 17 years of experience as a board licensed professional clinical counselor. She has helped more than 30,000 people. Can you believe? More than 30,000 people transform their health, relationships, career, and money by blending neuroscience, subconscious reprogramming, and powerful advanced manifestation techniques. Her approach combines science backed methods and ancient healing techniques. I would like to underline these two words, science backed methods and ancient healing techniques, because we used to think ancient healing means they're all old and not applicable now. But science are now proving what they mentioned is absolutely correct. So her approach combines science backed methods and ancient healing techniques like Ho'oponopono, NLP, breathwork, and hypnotherapy with practical tools that collapse time, turning 10 years of progress into just 1 year. Yes, sought after speaker and award winning coach, Gunjani's mission is simple: help ambitious, soulful people dissolve their deepest blocks and step into the top 1% of success and fulfillment. When she is not guiding clients towards quantum leaps, you will find her enjoying nature with her son and loving husband, curating high vibrational experiences and challenging the belief that success has to come at the cost of peace. Dear audience, let me caution you. Gunjani has a contagious habit, very contagious. This habit is her laughter. She laughs a lot, and when she laughs, even the hardest criminal, the most saddest person, the most angry person, they all start laughing with her. And so everyone's emotional problems are reduced drastically. Actually, when my mood is not good, I watch her videos, and my mood becomes better after listening to her laughter. Her laughter is like from an angel. Welcome, dear Gunjani. Thank you so much for accepting for this podcast. My first question to you, Gunjani, is: can you please share with us, the audience, what is this ancient healing method of Ho'oponopono and how can it resolve a common man problems of responding and not reacting to any situations in our daily life? It's now you, Gunjani, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Saina ji, for this beautiful, amazing introduction and this awesome podcast that you are leading us through. Thank you so much for having me here. It's truly my honor to be here and contribute to this podcast. Thank you for all the work you do. So I truly appreciate being here today. So your first question said, um, how does Ho'oponopono help with responding? And I would like to start with a story. I started doing this, I've been doing this work for almost 17 years, and I'm a very big believer of do everything on yourself, work on yourself, and then go out there and spread it to the world because there's no point teaching the world something that you are not practicing, right? So I got certified in Ho'oponopono last year, but before that, my specialty as a clinical counselor was depression, anxiety, lots of trauma, PTSD, um, addiction, grief, loss, those kind of things. And I've truly had a very blessed, fulfilling career. And I've had a very tumultuous first 2 years, 2 decades of my life. And I learned all these ancient techniques that truly helped me heal at the deepest level. That the person that I used to be, when you say it laughing, it brought me back to the days where I had severe depression and it was not even available to me. And then as I was recovering and as I was healing, I promised myself that I would find beauty in little things. I would find happiness in little things. And I'm launching one of my next books, and it's called Happiness is an Inside Job. So back to Ho'oponopono, it was one of the modalities that I learned because I'm always looking for modalities, treatment, ancient healing techniques that are safest, that are gentlest, that are fastest, and that everybody can use, right? Like there are not very many people will go through therapy, not very many people will hire coaches. And when I found this modality, it was really powerful because I wanted to start with the story. So Ho'oponopono, it's called Ho'oponopono. It's an ancient Hawaiian technique and a process that was made popular by a psychologist called Dr. Hewlin. And he was a psychologist in the early, late 90s, early 2000 in a Hawaiian jail. And before I tell you that story, I want to tell you why this is important. These are Ho'oponopono in Hawaiian means four magical words. We're going to talk about this four magical words. So all of you viewers, I want you to stay tuned and have a pen and a paper ready so you can write this down and learn, or let us know in the comments what you learned so that you will retain all this information. We don't want you to just listen to this information. We want you to retain and start applying all this. So Dr. Masaru Emoto is another Japanese scientist, and he studied water. He studied water consciousness. And what he found was when we charge our water, when we water, he took water and he vibrationally spoke into the water. He felt the feelings of love and he froze the water because we can't study water under a microscope. You can study molecules of uh, ice particles. So when he froze the water with love and peace and compassion, and he felt it, and he charged his water test tube, and he put it in the test in his freezer, and then he charged another set of water test tubes with "I hate you, you're a fool, you're no good at anything," heavy metal music, all that. And then when he studied the water particles, he noticed two different things. If you all go on the internet and see Dr. Masaru Emoto experiment on water, you will see this. And what he noticed that the particles that vibrationally, where he said it was love, it was compassion, it was peace, wisdom, he felt so good when he was charging his water bottle with that vibration, the particles were very harmonious. They were so beautiful looking particles. Whereas the water that was not charged, that was hate, that was negativity, that was all this meanness, it was all, really disharmonious, and it didn't have any particular shape or coherence. And what he said was that science shows us that words have power, words have frequency, words have a particular vibration, right? So when we feel those words, when we think those words, your vibration shifts in your body. Our body is 70% water. So the kind of thoughts we think, like even in our ancient Hindu mythical philosophies, we know that all these mantras, all these chanting we do, they have a certain vibration. When we go to a temple, the vibration of the temple, the minute we walk in, we feel so peace, we feel so good. Those vibrations make us feel certain emotional pattern, right? So thoughts have a lot of power. So the going back to Ho'oponopono, Dr. Hewlin found similar things where words have power, and these four magical words. I want all of you to write down. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. And what he did was he was helping a ward of very criminally ill, very mentally violent patients. They were very angry. They were murderers. They were rapists. They were literally tied in chains. They had jackets all over them. The turnover of the staff working there was very, very high. It was a very intense experience. So by the time he got there, it was just like people were convinced that he was just another therapist or psychologist who was going to walk in there and leave again because this place was just up to no good, right? And what he believed, he learned from his practitioner, his teacher, his guru, his mentor, Morna Simona, and Simeona. She was like in this 80s, this lady who had given, who used to teach, UN, who used to teach universities. She had helped heal his daughter who had shingles for 10 years and wouldn't go away with just using this technique. And the science behind this technique is that when you say high vibrational words, like when you say to someone, I'm sorry, versus you did this wrong, how dare you do this, why are you doing this to me? And you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and you feel those words, your vibration, your thoughts send the electrical signal to the quantum field, and your emotions vibrationally attract more of the words and the feelings that you feel. So when you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you raise the vibration of the person. So what he did was he didn't heal them, he healed himself. Because what he said was that somewhere in the word Ho'oponopono means taking 100% responsibility for our response to situations, as opposed to reacting with anger, reacting with shame, reacting with powerlessness, reacting with shutting down, reacting with doubt, worrying, whatever, all these vibrations that we feel, that are anger, that are fear, that are anxiety, all of those are reactions. So when we are reacting to life, he said, he healed himself, and literally what he found was he just used these words. He took their files, he sat in front of those files, and he healed himself. He said, I'm so sorry, Hewlin, that somewhere in your vibration, I take 100% responsibility for my emotional well being. It's somewhere in your vibration, somewhere from your ancestry, somewhere from your genetics, that you are coming in contact with these people, and somewhere you are keeping their vibration the way it is. So when you raise your vibration, you change your reality outside of you. So he did that. And within 1 year, the entire jail was empty and people were shocked. There was no psychotherapy, there was no, uh, like shock therapy, there was no medication. He literally took their files and he used these four sentences: I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And the whole entire world of people changed 100% from who they used to be to what he created them to be based on healing himself.
Lovely, lovely. So now, really, this concept is so great. But can I
This help
ask
you.
you? Yeah, certainly.
So you
How
said, how
does
does this
this?
help you respond instead of react? So
Correct. Correct.
in any given situation, four people, same situation, four people will react very differently. So let's say there is an earthquake, right? Um, if there is an earthquake, depending on your stress response, depending on the emotional patterns, emotional habits that you learned early on in childhood, which is in the first 7 years of life, or in the first, when you were a teenager, when you were 13. So, because that's when our brain goes through, according to neuroscience, it goes through major remodeling. All these connections are happening based on our life experiences. So, what neuroscience tells us that based on any given situation, five people react differently. One set of people, they will get very angry. They will start blaming, they will start complaining. All of these reactions that I'm saying are the way we react to life. Challenges happen, but five people, same situation, will react very differently. So some people will start getting very angry. They will start blaming the situation. They will start complaining. They will start really like yelling and shouting. Why is this happening? And what is happening right now? And why is nobody here to take care of things? And why are people late? And things like that. Let's say if this is earthquake. I mean, I want you to think about when you had a fight with your spouse or any stressful situations, people react like this. Or any, we say, stress or trauma response. Then there are a second set of people who will just start running around. They're so having panic attacks, they're having anxiety, they're scared, they're fearful, they'll start running around left and right, they won't know what to do. They react to stress by feeling panicked, scared, worried, fearful. We call it flight response. Then there are a third set of people who are, they freeze. They feel so scared that they just are in shock. They just can't say the words. Like there are some people in their fights with their spouses, because I'm also a relationship therapist, they will just be like a stone. The person will keep talking and the words won't come out for that person because they react in shock. They freeze, like their head is going million miles an hour. I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to get up and run. But their body, we call it catatonic immobility. Their muscles will just freeze. Words won't come out. Their throat center will just not be able to support them. They'll think, overthink, all that. So they'll freeze. Then there are a fourth set of people, we say people pleasing or fawning response. So they will start helping everybody else. They will start taking care of everybody else. They will start taking care of the situation. They will start cleaning up and, taking care of everything around them. So depending on your learned stress response early on in childhood, you react constantly to life. Like if there is a traffic jam, some people will yell and scream and shout and road rage. There will be some people who will be like, okay, you know what? We'll be late. We'll be late. We'll be late. There'll be some people who are like, oh my God, now what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then there will be some people who will go, oh my God, we need to call everybody and let them know. We don't even know. You just started home. Don't worry about it, right? Like respond instead of react. And then there are a fifth set of people that will have done some healing work, that will know all this stuff, that will have a level of self awareness, and they will go, you know what? This is stressful. I'm going to go pray. I'm going to go take care of myself. I'm going to comfort myself. I'm going to do all the things, use technique like Ho'oponopono, EFT, all the things that we teach, breath, breathe. And then I will come and respond to whatever is here. Nothing is running away. Okay, we have the situation at hand, but I'm going to go from a filled cup. I'm going to go connect with my highest self and I'm going to respond to this situation.
So how do I move from, if I am in the group one, how
Yeah.
do I move to group four or group five? How do I do that?
So Ho'oponopono, we'll stick to Ho'oponopono since this episode is about Ho'oponopono, right? There is an amazing psychiatrist in the world of during Holocaust. His name is Dr. Viktor Frankl, and his book is a very famous book called "Man Search for Meaning." And what he said was that between stimulus, between the time that you are triggered, between the time that you are about to start reacting and response, there is a gap. You have a pause. You take a pause. And in that gap is your power to respond. Most of us just boom, 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 boom. We're just firing and wiring, firing and wiring. We don't even realize that this is happening. And some of you, this might be the first time that you're actually learning this, right? So when we have awareness of how we act, we know how to stop reacting and how to start responding. If we don't even know, we can't change anything we don't know, right? And one of my other mentors, Deepak Chopra, I had heard this from him, where it's like between the response, stimulus and response, there is a gap, and in that gap, we have the power to connect to our spirit. We have the power to connect to there's this powerful vortex that connects us to our spirit, to our soul, to our source, to our highest self, whatever your word for it is. And in that gap is when we connect, we breathe, and your breath is the fastest way to change your emotional patterns. If you're reacting, pause, pause, pause.
Okay. So I have to practice this method of,
Ahead of
you know,
time, because
ahead.
otherwise people know all this information. Like in couples therapy, I'll teach people how to fight right, and how to respond during your next fight, instead of trying to be right and reacting. And one of the things I teach people is you have to practice this every day. Otherwise, 95% of the day, our body has learned the response we've known since we are 7 year old. So your 7 year old will come out when it is stress, as opposed to your current self, your present self, your emotionally wise 90-year-old self that is present within you, that has the emotional maturity, that has the wisdom, but you're not able to access that because you've mastered reacting. So, in order to stop reacting, you have to start mastering responding. If you know, like for me, I have been anxious most of my life before I started all this healing work. So I used to yell at my son, yell, yell. My natural response is to start yelling or fight. So then I'm like, oh, can't do that because otherwise I'm impacting my relationships, right? So I have to teach myself over the period of time. I also use this technique that you teach, EFT. So my hand just naturally goes. But Ho'oponopono is, I just start chanting. I'm so sorry that I chose to create this emotional reaction of anger. Please forgive me, Gunjani, my younger inner child, my younger self, who has learned this response automatically. Please forgive me. I choose calm. I choose, because our power is to choose the emotional reaction, response we want to feel. Opposite of anger is what? Calm. Opposite of anxiety is what? Comfort, safety. I choose comfort. I choose safety. I choose relax. We don't know the
So
opposite of the emotional reactions that we know, and thus we keep practicing the same emotional reactions that we know.
okay. So we practice more and ensure that we move from the
100%.
first group to the other groups and all that.
100. Even when we are
However,
not in conflict, even when we are not in stress. Because by the
there you
time
go.
you are in stress, it's too late. Like your brain
Okay.
is reacting as if you are in front of a tiger. And your left
Mhm.
brain is your thinking brain, your rational brain, your decision making brain, your logical brain, which is the human mind, which makes us human. And our right brain, which is the middle of the brain actually, is a limbic
Mhm.
brain. It is 200 million years ago reptilian brain. The whole point of that brain is fear and worry center. It is to keep you in survival. Like it wants to protect you and survive. So you fight, flight, freeze, or fawn to survive. It worked great when you were a child, but as an adult, it's not good to constantly keep reacting to life, right?
Okay, so there are certain techniques or rather daily sessions that you would be conducting, and
Mhm.
me, I'll be conducting a lot of others. So it would be good to join such meetings and then
Because
get
again, with
trained.
neuroplasticity, our brain's ability to change, our brain can change from reaction to response,
Hmm.
but it doesn't change with time. If it changed with time, then people who are 70, 80 years old, 50 years old wouldn't be reacting to life. It changes
Okay,
with repetition. Are you
repetition.
repeating calm? Are you repeating peace? Are you repeating responding? Are you repeating comforting yourself when you are stressed? Because when you're stressed,
Yeah,
your left brain turns down in volume. It's like you're in front of a tiger. You don't sit here and make decisions. Should I run? Should I freeze? Should I play dead? By then, you'd be dead. So your brain is
okay,
designed to not think in that moment of reaction.
correct. Yeah, yeah, got you. So if once I start practicing it and move from a particular group to another useful group, should I expect the same thing with the other person whom I'm interacting with?
100% not. The whole point of responding is
Okay.
emotionally mature people respond to life. We don't expect out of people what we don't do ourselves first, right? That's hypocrisy. And just because we
Hmm.
change doesn't mean they will necessarily meet us there right away. They will meet us there.
Hmm.
Like I've had conflicts in my relationship and my own marriage. Just because I'm a therapist doesn't mean that didn't happen. But when I changed, my husband was inspired to do all the things that I was doing and start applying it. So now our marriage is in a very good place. He's inspired. But like Dr. Hewlin says, at the energy level, we're all one. We are all one. So when we change, and I've seen it in my community where I had a lady whose husband was reacting and yelling at her and shouting at her and doing all the things. When he did that in the beginning, she would feel scared. Before she was doing this work, she would feel scared, she would feel doubtful, she would feel worried, anxious. Then she learned this technique. She would go in another room, she would breathe, take care of herself. She started responding. She would start doing Ho'oponopono. I'm so sorry, Sudha, you have to go through this. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you so much. I'm so sorry that you feel scared. Like she took care of her inner child the way
Oh,
she wanted her husband to respond. When she did that, in matter of 2 months, he started being nice to her. He started being more calm. He started being
oh,
more loving towards her. So he changed because she changed.
oh, lovely. That's a nice way of talking about it. Now, okay, once I've decided and I start practicing it, and and I feel that I'm in most cases responding and not reacting, how do I judge myself whether I'm going in the right direction, whether I'm improving or not? Because many times the monkey mind always thinks that I am good, but I may not be. So, how do I judge myself?
So and all of this does deep brain programming, deep nervous system programming, deep subconscious programming, which is our 95% of our time that we are on autopilot. We don't even know half the day that, we
Mm.
wake up, we go to the bathroom, we brush our teeth, we drive, we do the same things, come back home, do the same things almost most of the time, and keep reacting to challenges in life, right? So when you keep doing this work, you eventually change your nervous system, your inner subconscious mind, to respond in a different way. So when you are visualizing how you want to show up, when you are tapping all this stuff out, when you are saying, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you eventually, the whole idea of doing this, when you say these words, it clears out old emotional data and replaces it with, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, very high vibrational words. The words have frequency, right? So eventually you get to a point where you want to react, but no reaction will come out. So there was a time where I had done all this breath work, all this work so deep that in normal situations where I would normally react, I'm like, normally I would get so mad in this situation. But now all the mad is empty. Like mad is not coming out. Angry is not coming out. What? Like it is so powerful. Like I said, like this woman, normally she would be like really scared, anxious. Now responding, like she wants to react. I have so many people in my community that they'll say, normally if this didn't happen, or I had some guests over and this thing burnt and that thing happened and this thing happened, and I just kept saying ho'oponopono and working on it and just very calm and responded, where in the past I would get hyperactive, I would yell at my husband, I would feel so stressed during the whole dinner, I would not even be able to enjoy it. Now I was just happy because happiness is my frequency. Now I'm just peaceful and calm and relaxed because that is my
Yeah,
frequency. That's what I've trained myself to. So
love.
you will want to react in the ways that you're normally hyper, scared, worried, fearful, but you'll just be like, it's okay. I'm relaxed, not a big deal. It's fine. You
Great.
you
Thank
you
you.
know that you are able to show up like that versus
Thank
who
you.
you used to be.
Thank you. Can you share with the audience some takeaway points on when we are concluding this podcast? What are the takeaway points, very important points that you would like to convey?
So for me, one of the biggest things is we can't change anything when we don't take time for stillness, when we don't take time for pause, when we're always going, going, going. That is also a stress response. That is also a reaction response. When we have self-awareness that this is how and people change, most of the time people change because of excruciating amount of pain. If I tell
Mm,
people to go out there and change, they're like, no, I'm fine. But people, places challenges, crises, and opportunities, they just 10x our emotional patterns. And when things get really bad, I either see people change when they have some kind of health crisis or terminal illness. I see people change when they are having, like, when their relationship is falling apart or they're not finding someone. I see people change when they have some career related crisis or they want job or something badly. Or I see people change when they have some financial crisis. So people change because of pain. So when you go through pain, I want you to ask yourself, what is the biggest struggle that you're going through right now? And how are you reacting to it? What is your reaction
Okay.
to it? And how would you like to respond instead? Because again,
Beautiful.
I'm very big on, okay, this is what we're doing. So because, or some people who are into this healing work, they change because they want to stay ahead of the pain. They don't want to create any major crisis now that they've done some major portion of healing. So they keep healing. They keep doing this work. They keep relaxing. They keep, you know, peeling off the layer. I truly believe that healing is like an onion. We just have to keep peeling off the layers, and eventually we get to this place of, this feels so good. Like I'm loving life, right? But in order to get to
Yeah.
that place, you have to release all the shenanigans in your body, everything that you have up until now carried in your body, all these reactional emotional patterns. Once you release them, then inside there is nothing but confidence. There is nothing but happiness, nothing but joy, nothing but peace. So I want you to ask yourself, like, I don't want to get to a place of crisis. I want to ask myself, in my health, in my relationship, in my career, in my money, where am I struggling? How am I reacting? What are the patterns that are coming out for me? What patterns are over and over I am repeating? What are my emotional
Fine.
patterns? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it doubt? Is it guilt? Is it insecurity? How am I reacting to it all the time? Right? And ask yourself, if, for example, I am anxious because, I am worried because, and just write down. Don't judge it. Don't be mean to yourself. Just write down, because those are your beliefs. Your beliefs, what you think is how you feel. How you feel is how you act. So you want to do all these things in your life, but inside, if you feel not good enough, inside, if you feel maybe not later, inside, if you feel it's very hard, if your belief systems are like that, then you will not take the action that is necessary to heal, that is waiting for you to become the best version of you. So when you ask yourself, then there are techniques that Sainaji can teach you that will help you change those beliefs, that will help you change your emotional patterns. Change by yourself is hard because that is your familiarity. So last thing I want to leave people with, whenever we want to change, a lot of times we'll sabotage. Like, how many of you go through the, when you start the year, I'm going to lose all this weight, 2 weeks, someone comes, some, you say, oh, this is so hard, oh, we got invited to a wedding or a birthday party, something major happens as soon as you're ready to change. And then here you are, year number 10, making the same resolution, I want to lose weight. So when we are trying to change our nervous system, our subconscious, whatever we are familiar with, if you're familiar with chaos, that's what we'll keep creating more and more. That feels like heaven to us because that's what we are used to, dysfunction. But when we are used to, when we are changing, our nervous system goes, this is unfamiliar, tiger, I can't handle it, and we sabotage it. That's why we need coaches. That's why we need healers to help us, show us the blind spots, and support us to walk through that fire so we don't have to do it alone.
Beautiful. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. And the next couple of topics which I would like to discuss with you is on how do we improve relations in a professional office, and then how do you do manifestations and all that. Thank you so much for agreeing to it. And this is for information for the audience that in case you want to contact me, the next slide will show you my email ID and also the YouTube that Gunjani maintains and all that. So thank you so much again. Thank you all. I hope it was useful, and let's make the world happy and let us all be happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sainaji. I appreciate being here. And thank you for everybody that gave us your time and for watching this information. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions. We always come back and answer. And what you thought of this podcast or your biggest breakthrough. We would love to hear it. Thank you so much for your time and
If
your attention.
you like it, please subscribe, click on subscribe, and also give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Thank you.